Hey, welcome to Virginia This Morning. I'm Greg McQuaid. So glad you could join us today. April, if you didn't know, is Financial Literacy Month, and we want to pass along some wonderful tips that can help you in April and really all year long. Richmond money expert J.B. Bryan is here with all the details. We welcome J.B. back. Great to see you, J.B. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Greg.
All right, so this must be a very exciting time for you, being a money expert, and April being Financial Literacy Month.
Yes, indeed, and I think some people might have forgotten about their financial resolution. So I'm glad you had me back so we can get them back on track.
Yeah, right? This is no joke. Much like going to the gym.
Yes.
You know, you kind of...
Yes.
In between workouts, you kind of forget about literacy when it comes to finance and money. But tell us really where we want to jump in, and maybe if we're going to refocus our financial well-being.
And I think that we should really start with what your goals are, you know, what's important for you. So we're going to start with just getting back on track with what's important to you and thinking about it. Because financial literacy, we first need to establish what's important to you and then move into how we're going to accomplish those things that are important to you. It might be like debt repayment, paying down your debts. And I think that that's the basis of your financial house, is getting a good, sound structure. So if paying off the debts that you promised to start paying off in January is still a goal for you, then let's start paying them down. And then after you've accomplished that and you feel that you have a good debt repayment plan and a good emergency account, let's not skip that. Are you financially savvy? Includes having a good emergency fund. At least 3 to 6 months of your expenses. If you're a single parent or a sole income producer for your household, definitely consider having at least a year, not just 3 months, but at least a year of savings, not your retirement account. That's not an emergency fund. Your emergency fund is money that you could get to without any penalties, any surrender charges. That's just for emergencies.
Well, JB, if people are working week to week, month to month, trying to pay the food and pay the electric bills, how do they save to actually build up that emergency fund?
You're right, and that means that you need to be careful with what your debts are. Because if you're generating money, you have to make a commitment that you're taking at least 10% of that and putting it away for the future, and 10% of that, at least 10% of that, for your emergency fund. So if you're constantly putting money away for that goal, it will happen. But if you have a large proportion of your income going to take care of just these debts that you've accumulated by making a car payment that exceeds 10% of your pay. I mean, a good rule of thumb is to not allow your car payment to exceed 10% of your pay. And sometimes people buy a car and the payment each month is half of their income. So that's a big mistake. So, you know, making sure that you allow yourself to live within a standard of living that your current income. Now, I know we all have big dreams, but we have to live within the means of our current income, and remembering that things do happen. So I need to make discipline, like you said with the gym. I need to make it a point to be disciplined about keeping some money for emergencies and some for my future, and then living with the rest.
If you find yourself that you're in debt, that hole gets deeper and deeper monthly.
And debt should not be a lifestyle, right?
No, it really should not be, because you're paying interest on that debt.
And it's much more. Buy a pair of pants with the credit card and don't pay it off, right? That one pair of pants might cost you 4 times as much by the time you finish paying for it.
And really, is it just a different way of looking at buying those pair of pants or a pair of shoes or the latest music that you want?
Yes, and learning to take care of that which you have. I believe that everything we need, we already have. I tell my daughter, don't throw things on the floor. You know, be careful. Take care of what you have so that you can get more. But our first challenge is to take care of what we have. If we maintain our vehicles properly, we don't have to constantly be in the shop with the high maintenance bills. Do the little things like our bodies. As you said with the gym, we manage our money the same way. It's our daily decisions that affect our long-term financial well-being, our long-term health, financial financially.
Maybe not get those $4 cups of coffee as well.
So true. I mean, and they're $6 now. I mean, it's scary.
Where are you drinking your
Oh,
coffee?
no.
I know it's
I
good,
went to
yeah.
get a smoothie, a protein smoothie the other day. It was $10. I said, Lord, I should have boiled 2 eggs.
Did it come?
That
Did
is
it come with a
ridiculous.
sandwich?
That is way outside of
Yeah.
a financially smart thing to do. $10 for a smoothie. I mean, it's much. You can be healthy, and we don't have to make these decisions, because that was not a healthy decision.
No, for the financial pocket. But you felt
Yes.
good, at least for the
Yes.
short term, but
And
not
at
the
least-
long term.
And knowing better is not always enough. Now we have to do better.
I know
Yes.
this is one issue that we don't necessarily like to talk about. We have about a minute left here.
Sure.
Making those plans, making your final plans.
Oh,
with the
you're
will.
right. You're right. Very important to financial savvy is to make sure that you leave instructions of how you want your money to be handled, how you want your assets to be handled. Have the beneficiary forms updated for all of your things. Your life insurance, have you updated it? Making sure that you do establish a will. Is it important to have a trust? And knowing the difference between a will and a trust, because a trust will go on for years. It's giving instructions for a long period of time. Your will is a more just immediate need. So we need to, talk with a legal advisor if you have to about those in the end and how you want things to be handled. And most importantly, do what you can by updating your beneficiary forms, investigating life insurance needs, and making sure that all the beneficiaries on your retirement accounts and everything are
I
up to
already
date.
feel more financially secure. Nice to
that's
see you,
good.
JB. And I'm
Let's
going to avoid that
celebrate.
smoothie. Yes,
That's
okay.
right.
All right, JB
Thank
is
you.
offering financial literacy workshops every Wednesday this month, starting today at noon at 4860 Cox Road, Suite 200. That is in Glen Ellen. The registration is required. It's free, though. For more information, you can visit us on our show website at WTVR.com/VTM. JB, thanks so much.
Sponsored by Our Home Magazine.